Hey everyone, this is Drew back with the deciding Game 3 from the Glendale, Wisconsin City Championships. Game 1 saw Kyle win once he eventually got set up and got a Magnezone and Typhlosion out. And Game 2 saw Toby win a quick game by Patricio knocking out a Magnemite on the first turn of the game. Now Kyle gets to go first since he lost that second game, and he starts with the Rush Ram. And he does get a collector though, so we're going to see a little longer game this time, folks. Alright, now, I imagine he's going to get the usual suspects. It kind of depends on how good his hand is, if a Cleffa appears or not. Now, the way his deck has been setting up, I would expect him to get a Cleffa, kind of. Yep, and there's a Cleffa. So, a Cyndaquil, Magnemite, and a Cleffa. Now we will see if he has a switch too, or if he's going to have to pass his turn and wait to retreat to Eek. I expect him to not have everything he needs, because that's just the way it seems to be going for Kyle. He's been setting up very slowly these past few games, just looking at the top 8 games and the first top 4 game. So he does have to pass, and he's staring down a Zekrom and a Tornadus. And it looked like a Sharon out of Toby, and looked like he got a Shaman and a couple more draw cards out of that. Now he does have energy in his hand. I don't think he has a Patricio to go along with that, and it looks like he only has 2 energy. So he's gonna have a slow setup this game, it looks like. And yeah, now we're gonna see if Kyle has what he needs. Oh man, looks like he actually I think I saw a rare candy in his hand, so we might see a turn 2 Magnezone. Yep. So he does communication for the Magnezone, and this is the best setup I've seen out of Kyle yet. Alright, and if he can hit another collector or something like that to get out a couple more basics, he'll be sitting pretty. So he does make that draw for 3 or 4, and gets a Quilava too, so Kyle this is the kind of setup you're looking for in a game 3 with everything on the line. I can't imagine he'll be doing much damage this turn, probably just a quick outrage 20 into Toby's Zekrom, and it'll be interesting to see what Toby does after that, because the Zekrom will be in a little bit of trouble. He can't really commit many energy to it, and this is not what he likes to see. He wants to get a quicker setup than his opponent and really cripple their field. And by Kyle being able to rare candy into zone turn 2, it really hurts Toby's chances a lot, because he doesn't have the long-term ability to keep up with a deck like this Typhlosion Magnezone deck. So we do see Kyle looks like he junk armed for communication to get a second Cyndaquil in play, and will indeed just outrage. So not sure what Toby top deck there, but he's gonna go ahead and commit another energy to the Zekrom, so he can probably just if he has a plus power, he can go ahead and try to go off, and yeah, try to go off into a Shaman and knock out our Patricio Shaman combo and knock out this Rush Ram, which is probably not sure what he's doing here. Maybe trying to eliminate a few cards for Juniper. Yep. So he does have 2 plus powers, and it looks like he got at least a catcher and a Tornadus out of this, and another draw card looks like to be a Pont, and I doubt he got to where he needed to be. So this is not looking good for Toby. He's going to be able to do 40 to this Rush Ram with, or not 40, 60, with the 20 from Outrage, plus the 2 damage counters, plus the 2 plus powers, so 60. And it looks like he's just going to go ahead and try to knock out the Cyndaquil. I'm not really sure if that's the best play. If you can get the damage on the Rush Ram and knock out, follow it up with a knockout from Tornadus, his hand must not be too good. He's just trying to get a prize there and draw into something better. And it looks like there's really no options in his hand. I think I saw Collector but no energy, and this could be a quick one if Kyle is able to just continually blue flare, which it looks like he's going to be able to do. He has that Typhlosion out now, and he did get a Collector for another Cyndaquil, Magnemite, and Reshiram, so things are not looking good for Toby. Maybe he could have catched last turn for the Magnezone, tried to stall a turn. That doesn't really work either because I think Kyle has energy in the discard pile now. So he's facing Kyle's probably best possible start, and it's really unfortunate for Toby because there's nothing he can really do. He can't keep up with the draw and the energy acceleration that Kyle's going to have. And this one could be over quickly if I don't know what Toby can do here. This is not looking good for him. He's obviously just going to play it out though. And we're going to see Collector. I think he top decked the energy, so he does have that. He's probably going to have to sacrifice a few Pokemon here in order to set up this Zekrom. The Tornadus isn't going to get anything done. It's just going to get knocked out again. I think he has an Eviolite, so he can make it last a couple turns active if he wants to. But yeah, he's really grasping at straws here, I think. Not sure what he can get there. Maybe another Zekrom or Tornadus. He has a Shaman in his hand, so he doesn't really need to get another one of those. So we'll see what he gets here with the third Pokemon. Really just surveying his options, I feel. He couldn't have expected Kyle's setup to be that fast. And, I mean, that's not what he saw in Game 1, so it's his back's against the wall. So he will play the Pachirisu for 1, and it looks like he's going for the Tornadus. He does have an Eviolite, so he can possibly try to stay alive that way. Alright, so he's going to do another catcher. See what he brings up. He's going to keep going after these Cyndaquils. I'm not really sure why, but he is taking prizes, which does help. Alright, so he's gonna... Not sure what he was trying to do there. He is already attached this turn. He does have the Eviolite. I would like to see him play it. Keep this Tornadus alive for at least another turn. I don't think Kyle plays Plus Power. Obviously, he can just go aggro with his Magnezone if he chooses to and get the knockout that way. But it looks like he's just going to be content with Reshiram. He probably has a means to get catcher, so Toby definitely has a few prizes on the board from catcher, the Pachirisu and the Shaman. And the second Magnezone comes down. So Kyle he's got everything he could ask for. See what he draws into with his magnetic draws. Looks like he's going to grab the fire from the discard, go ahead and afterburner to the Reshiram. And we'll see what he does. Probably be content knocking out this Tornadus this turn. There's no reason not to. It's got energy on it, so might as well take it out. And those Pachirisu and Shaman will be around forever. So I'm not sure what Kyle did there. Looks like another Collector. Just thin the deck out, really. He can get another Cyndaquil in play, and possibly communication that Cleffa back in to his deck, or discard it to Junk Arm. And he will go ahead and Blue Flare. So Kyle's taking 2 prizes, but so is Toby. And we'll see if he can keep up. If he can keep knocking out the things that Kyle plays down, like that Cyndaquil, he can stay in this longer than I anticipated. But it looks like he is going to whiff this turn at least. Looks like he has a Junk Arm, Plus Power, Zekrom in his hand, among other things. None of those really help him at all. We will see a Pont though. He's hoping to hit energy here. Really set that Zekrom up for next turn. The Zekrom is pretty safe assuming Kyle doesn't catcher and switch into the Magnezone and lost burn a ton of energies. But that's kind of a risky play. I don't anticipate it out of Kyle. He'll probably just be content to blue flare the Pachirisu, like we have been seeing. If he gets another Typhlosion out, he can go ahead and probably just use Outrage after the 2 afterburners if he wants to do that route too. So he does hit 2 energy, it looks like, and that plus power I think is back in his hand. Alright, and he will just pass. So we'll see if Kyle has the means to get out that second Typhlosion. That would really take all of Toby's KO options off the board. Any meaningful KOs, that is. He really has to probably start going after things other than Reshiram if he wants to win, because Kyle's setup is so good. He can easily just keep trading prizes with Toby and not even care. So it does appear that Kyle has the means to get out that second Typhlosion. See it come down shortly. Yep, there it is, Rare Candy Typhlosion. So there's not much hope for a Zekrom deck staring down 2 Magnezones, 2 Reshirams, and 2 Typhlosions. This is the ideal field for Kyle. He cannot dream a better situation for a game 3. And yeah, he's gonna go ahead and power up that second one. Keep Magnetic drawing. This is not looking good for Toby. He's gonna have to start gusting things up, like the Magnezone. Hope Kyle whiffs somewhere if he wants to get into this game, and it doesn't appear like that's gonna happen. Not sure what Kyle used there. I think it might have been a Sage. Just thin the deck out some more. He doesn't really need anything per se, but he would like to go ahead and get those catchers and things of that nature into his hand, maybe a switch in his hand. He's really just trying to get the ideal hand at this point. And we will see the Outrage KO. He doesn't have the blue flare, so why waste the energy? Alright, so we have this Zekrom, but it's not really gonna stop Kyle at all. There's no way for it to slow him down. So I think I saw Junk Arm. Yep. Be interesting to see what he tries to get back with this. Nothing really helps him, like I've been saying. And he will discard Tornadus and something else, some draw, maybe a Sharon, and he will get a catcher, so he will try to, I'm not sure. Oh, he has a plus power, so he's going to dig for a second plus power and hopefully knock out this Magnezone. Unfortunately, by doing so, he puts his Zekrom into blue flare range, so this is really just a lateral move. Doesn't help him too much because he's not gaining anything in the prize trade-offs. Probably like to see him knock out the Reshiram and force Kyle to go ahead and lost burn a few energies if he wants the immediate KO or force him to catcher. So he's just choosing what he wants to catcher. Kyle's letting him take things he wants. So he does go ahead and knock out the Reshiram, but like I said, it was just a bunch of lateral movements because he ends up putting his Zekrom at 30, which is the magic number for blue flare with Eviolite out. The blue flare does 100 and knocks out the Zekrom anyway, so it wasn't really the best play, I feel. But I mean, he was just digging for anything at that point. So we will see Kyle just blue flare back, I imagine. Going back into Toby's turn, he's gonna have to sacrifice another Pokemon probably, and that's not a good sign for him. So Kyle's gonna power up that second Magnezone, and and we'll see what happens. Looks like he went ahead and used an N, try to refresh his hand a little bit there, and make sure that Toby doesn't mount any sort of comeback. Toby doesn't play the draw engine that Kyle does, so he really can't keep up. So we'll see what happens here. Looks like Kyle's gonna go ahead and Super Rod, put maybe a Reshiram back, a couple of those Cyndaquils that got hurt early on, or just Magnezone energy and something else. I would imagine he takes a Cyndaquil or a Reshiram here. Yeah, there's the Reshiram back. He doesn't really need anything per se, but just trying to thin out his hand a little bit, put anything he could possibly need back. And he probably has a magnetic draw coming up here. Yep. So yeah, Kyle's deck is firing on all cylinders at this point, and we will see the blue flare knockout. And I think Kyle's down to 2 or 3 prizes at this point. Looks to be 2, but he could have another one hanging off the board somewhere. And I don't know what Toby's gonna bring up. He chooses the Pachirisu. I'm not really sure why. Probably would have sacrificed the Shaman. He just looks like he's just trying to get a quick prize here, knock out this Magnemite, stop Kyle from getting 3 Magnezones out. He's just trying to take prizes, keep the game respectable, and not get blown out. Alright, see what he gets. He's looking for a Lightning here for the knockout. Shuffling up real good here. And if he is able to get this Magnemite knockout, he's just going to get outraged from that Reshiram after an Afterburner. And I'm not sure why he's shuffling so long. Alright. Let's see if he gets it. And he does indeed. Then that looks like he got 3 energy, Bellsprout, Zekrom, and Pokegear. So that's actually a pretty decent hand. Maybe he's going to be able to try and Bellsprout around for a little bit. Doesn't really help him at all because Kyle has 2 fires at least in the discard pile, so we can just Afterburner and attack with anything. But he's going to play it anyways. Might as well try. He's probably just going to empty his hand here, maybe even Pokegear this turn. Nope. So, looks like he takes another prize. I think Toby still has 2 prizes left. I'm not exactly sure. Alright, so we will see the Afterburners. It's amazing how much ZPST can actually keep up with the super feel that Kyle has. But, I mean, in the end, Kyle took the first prize, and it looks like Toby has finally ran out of KOs. Kyle probably shouldn't have even played that Magnemite last turn. He really gave away a prize there, and I mean, it doesn't matter in the end, but he didn't have to play it. So we will see that Pokegear. I imagine he's just going to Bellsprout up a Typhlosion and try to avoid the knockout at all costs. Because I believe Kyle only has 1 prize left. Alright. He's taking his time here. His back's really against the wall, so I don't really mind him taking as much time as he needs to. This is really a tough situation for Toby. And he will try to use the Bellsprout tactic. Let's see what he got off that. Looks like a couple energy and some trainers. I don't think he has anything in his deck that can help him out from this situation. See what he gets off the Junk Arm. So he's gonna go ahead and evaluate this Bellsprout. It doesn't have much HP to begin with, but you might as well try. And he chooses the Magnezone, which is not the right choice, but It doesn't matter at all. So Kyle's just gonna go ahead and lost burn all of his energy. Let's see how much damage he does. So it's looks to be about 300-ish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's actually 400. So he does 380 after the Eviolite, and we're gonna see Kyle move on to the finals here. Toby put up a good fight. He won that second game with the FTK. But Kyle's deck is victorious, and I'll be right back with the finals for you guys.